Hi, I'm Corey from ID Parts, and in this video I'll be replacing the rear brakes on this 2019 Sprinter 2500 four-wheel drive. This is a 2500. The process will be different for a 3500 dual rear wheel model, but it'll be the same regardless of 4x4 all-wheel drive or two-wheel drive model.
Anytime you'll be replacing pads, the first thing you need to do is remove the top of the brake fluid reservoir. If your van was equipped with the electronic parking brake, first thing we'll need to do is go into the service menu of the cluster. Turn the ignition to ignition 1, then on the left side of the steering wheel, hold the left/home button for 3 seconds, and then press the middle OK button. The service menu will then appear. You can scroll down to brake pad replacement and press the OK center button. You'll hear the motors in the rear calipers start retracting, and when they're done retracting, the cluster will show fitting position reached. After removing the wheel, you'll be able to see the caliper. If you've worked on Mercedes before, it's a very familiar design. First thing we'll need to do is remove the 2 pins that go through the carrier and hold the caliper in place. They can be removed with a 6mm Allen wrench. There'll be one on the top and one on the bottom. The top one is more of a bolt, and the bottom one is more of a traditional slide pin style. For the bottom pin, you'll probably need to slide it out with a flathead screwdriver a little bit. That way it doesn't get hung up. Don't forget to remove the brake pad wear sensor, and then take a flathead screwdriver to pry the caliper off the pad. Take the caliper and store it on top of the axle as securely as you can. Now is a good time to remove the brake caliper carrier clips. They ensure that the brake pad can slide freely, but we'll want to clean them off before reinstalling them. 2 options to push the piston on the caliper back. One is a set of channel locks, but in this video we'll be using a rear brake windback tool. Note that if you have an electronic parking brake, if you can't push the piston all the way back, that means that the brake motor hasn't fully retracted. Next, to remove the rotor, we'll start by removing the small torque screw that holds the rotor in place. Next, we'll have to remove the carrier. The carrier is held on with 2 bolts. Remove those bolts and the carrier will be able to be removed. With the carrier out of the way, you now can remove the rotor. Now it's time for some cleaning. Take a wire brush and clean all the loose corrosion, salt, rust, debris, whatever, on the hub, as well as the brake carrier. Once you're happy with your cleaning job, we can begin reassembling. Start by taking your new rotor or refinished rotor, place it on the hub, secure the rotor screw in place. Then reinstall the carrier. With the carrier on, you can put the rear carrier clips back on as well. To get the pads in place, first slide the inside edge into the tabs on an angle, and then push the pad so that it's flush with the rotor. Once the pads are in, ensure the rotor still rotates freely, just in case the pads get caught in the spring clips and are putting some drag on the rotor. If you're happy with that, you can go ahead and reinstall the caliper. Tighten down the top and bottom slide pins, making sure not to pinch either of the boots. And don't forget to install a new brake pad wear sensor if you're working on the driver's side of the vehicle. If you have the electronic rear parking brake, you'll have to go back into the cluster, into the service menu, click on OK to exit fitting position. If everything was installed properly, the cluster will show that the fitting position has been exited, and the parking brake light will stop flashing. Don't forget to reinstall the brake fluid reservoir cap. Reinstall the wheels. Be sure you have good pedal pressure before going for the test drive. That's it for this video, and this job is done. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel to see new videos as I make them on your diesels, and give us a like if it was helpful. Thanks again for watching.